Hey guys, and welcome to Creativity Level Zero. I'm Jim,
I'm Steve.
and thanks for joining us this week. Now, before we get into anything, I wanted to point out that the last episode we did, we were in person, the two of us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We were both sitting next to each other, COVID free, but we won't know the results until 2 weeks from
Another
now.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So if I die in those 2 weeks, we know what happened here,
It would
live.
take you a little longer than 2 weeks to die.
That's right. That's right. If I get the vid, is that what the kids are calling it
Like
nowadays?
instant die.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask how was your week? I saw you a few days ago, but you're a busy man. There might be some
I am
stuff
a
going
busy
on.
man. Today I played pickup soccer with some coworkers and their families and stuff like that. Yeah, it was good. It was good to be finally out there. Let me tell you, the one thing I was looking forward to during spring and summer was starting to play soccer again. And, you know, COVID had to ruin everything. And I couldn't play soccer, and everything got delayed and delayed. And I'm happy that we're finally playing again.
Is this a league
Um,
or is this like just pickup
no, this is
games?
just like pick up, just having fun. Everyone is pretty mediocre. Um,
That's the
yeah,
best. So you're like
yeah,
the god is here, make way.
exactly. Yeah, it was a little exhausting today because we had an uneven amount of players, and normally you would do something like have somebody on like the sideline and then switch off, but everyone wanted to play, so it was 4-on-3, and I was on the three-man team. So
Did you guys do like cones or did you do
yeah,
like
traffic cones.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one of them said Petty on it. I feel like he
Petty?
must have. I feel like he must have stole it from a Tom Petty concert.
Oh, they were like big cones.
Yeah, big cones. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
big
they
traffic
stole it.
cones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't have the baby ones we used to play with.
No.
Yeah,
Not the ones that are even like basically just like cylinders that are
do you
just
remember that? Like we used to
yes.
play with cones, and then they're like, you know what? I know you guys pay like $1,000 a season to play with us, but these cones are too expensive. Let's let's get these mini frisbees that are like saucer sized, and we'll throw them out on the field.
That's right. That's
And
right.
I could never see them.
I used to hate the rule too that
No stepping on
you
the cones.
you could that's not only stepping on the cones, but if the ball was off the ground by any little margin, then it didn't count as a goal.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It needed to be on the ground and
That's
crossing the
right.
goal line. Yeah,
That is
I
tough
think
to hit
it
it
is harder.
hard on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, it kind of just tumbles.
Well, I mean, it's easy to just like boot it to the goal
Yeah,
with no goalkeeper.
the soccer league near me um, are starting their signups now,
Okay.
and they said masks optional. And I was thinking, oh, maybe soccer would be okay. I don't know if I need a mask on soccer. And then I remembered, like, anytime the ball stops, like a goal kick or a throw in or anything, you're literally right up against somebody because you're
Yeah.
guarding them. So I'm like, nah.
This is just pickup. We're just playing for fun.
Right, 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 right.
So everyone is pretty separated. Um, no one's really going after the ball, so like we're not really up in someone's face. No one's breathing down my neck, like
Right,
waiting for the ball to come in. And
right.
I'm not trying to play like keep away at the line or anything
Hmm.
like that to try to make it go out.
Well, we
All-
should also say that we're in the area that doesn't have a lot of COVID.
right
Well,
now.
as
Yes.
much. I
Yes.
gotta say, like, 500 cases a day or whatever we're at is still a lot of cases.
Oh, Pennsylvania's up to 1,000
A
today.
1,000?
Yeah.
They
It's
took
not
the
looking
weekend off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all went out on the weekend. Yeah.
New Jersey going strong, 300. We're good.
300 today? Nice, nice. But yeah, I saw that I saw the COVID trend and it was like we have more cases now than we did when COVID started. And I'm
Yes.
thinking like how is that possible? But I guess
Because people decided, oh, you know what? All those northeastern states, they closed we didn't need to close because our numbers like were so low.
Yeah.
So let's just open everything.
Hmm.
Oh well, there goes the mistake. And then when you start removing, not letting masks go through,
Oh yeah.
that's when things, you know,
Yeah, my work is in Minnesota, and
uh,
when we had it bad, they only had like 14 people a day.
right.
And they did institute the lockdown. So my boss was working from home and the people there were working from home. And then 2 months later, I think it was like April, May. So in May, they were like, we have almost no cases here. Open it back up. So they sent everybody back in the office, and now Minnesota is shooting up because of
Yes,
that exact
exactly.
thing.
Which is what makes me worried because like New Jersey's opening up and everything, but we seem to be doing things like masks are absolutely mandatory and everything. And I know at least in my workplace, they're doing a good job of like cleaning and masks are also required at my workplace and all the desks have to be separated.
Right,
We
right.
used to run in shifts, but now it's all everyone's together. But I think it's okay. I mean, the lab's big enough that
Yeah.
no one's
Yeah, I
on
think
top of
it's
each.
tough because, like, I obviously feel bad for those people who work in any of the industries that had to get shut down. Like,
Yeah,
when I think I had, what was it, last weekend? I had sushi, or maybe a few days before the weekend. I had sushi, and I've had it twice since COVID. And the first time I went in, the restaurant was shut down. And I just asked the guy, I was like, "How are you doing?" Because, well, there's two good sushi places by me, so I'm lucky. I'm lucky. So it's kind of like, well, if you're not gonna
is
make
it
it.
like the Indian places near you where they're named the same and
No,
so
no, these are definitely named different ones. But so the place that I like to go to, and I think the one that I got sushi for you from, they generally make pretty good rolls for a decent price.
okay.
There's a place that makes better rolls, but every roll is like $18. And so you have to go and get like one roll, and maybe you get one and share with someone, and you're spending like 30 something, $40 a meal. Like that's a lot of money. So I don't usually go there unless it's like a holiday. But I was asking
You
him, I was like, what's that?
you want to treat yourself.
Yeah, treat myself. So I was asking him, I was like, how are you doing? And he's like, actually, by just doing delivery, we're breaking even. And so he was like, I'm not going to open. And then last week, when I went there, um, again, the whole restaurant was closed, so I felt comfortable like going in, getting the food and all that stuff. But
Right.
I mentioned on the last episode, like across the street, you got Applebee's with like a line out the door, people like all sitting inside.
Wait, you have indoor seating
Only indoor seating in Applebee's. Where are they gonna put the people? It's
in the
Applebee's.
parking lot.
Nah, nah,
I
nah.
went to yesterday. I went to a bar restaurant called Jose Tejas.
Oh,
Uh, and
it's a funny name.
yeah, well, it's like a Mexican Cajun restaurant.
Okay.
So, you want some jambalaya with your burrito.
Okay.
Not one of my favorite places just because of that reason. Like I'm like, am I eating Cajun or am I eating Mexican?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't like the two mixed together. But
yeah.
um anyways, they have no indoor seating. Everything is outdoors. They literally just propped up this giant awning that goes over
Oh,
half of their
cool.
parking lot. And yeah, everybody's just it's in the parking lot. They just blocked off their parking lot. It's a way that one, you limit the amount of people going to your restaurant
Mm-hmm.
because half the parking lot is taken. And two, you have outdoor seating, so it's safer.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think by our parents, my parents were telling me that in was it Aberdeen? In like in Jersey, there was like a strip mall with like a bunch of different restaurants, and they did that same thing where they took half the parking lot and they put like a tent or something like that. I
Yeah,
think that's better because you don't want to be like in a restaurant or even like my gym's open and like I really do want to exercise, but like I just can't imagine being in a place where like
I'm
the air.
I'm starting to see why Pennsylvania numbers are up to 1,000
Hmm.
now.
I mean, the fact that our
Gym
gyms are open and the
no
masks are not mandatory in the gyms.
what?
It's voluntary. So imagine like being in the gym and somebody is just like running and just like hurling, like
On
we're,
those treadmills must be awful.
we're
Everyone's
like
like sweating. panting and like
Yeah.
just spit.
Or any of the
Yeah.
machines or any of the things you work with, it's like people are just doused in their own like juices and now they're touching stuff. Nasty.
I was hoping we'd go an episode without talking about human juices.
Oh, well, that's for the next one. So today I wanted to talk about this interesting topic. I think we might have possibly touched on it previously, but that's okay.
Okay.
It was this idea that there are generations of people. So I believe we are still considered millennials. I'm not really
Yeah,
sure
we are.
what the age window. Yeah.
Yeah, we were right before us is Generation X,
Yeah.
and then we are at the beginning of millennials.
Right. So there's like the boomers, the millennials, Gen X, but I feel weird because there's nothing between the boomers and the millennials. Like there's a
Gen
huge.
X.
Oh, so it's boomers, Gen X, millennials. So Gen X
Yeah,
is older
then
than us.
Generation I, which is like
I?
yeah, or Generation Z.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Or Generation Z, or something like that. It comes after us.
Okay, regardless of what they're called.
We're already in the new generation.
Okay, great. I wanted to talk about how, and it doesn't have to be those boundaries in particular, but there are generations where things just completely flip. Like things that, and I wanted to specifically talk about things we do for fun and what people would do for fun that is either obsolete or is just like, if you did it, people would look at you weird. Right? So like, to give you an example, in that TV show that you told me to watch, The Community, there's a guy who plays hacky sack, and
That's
I
right.
think hacky sack is actually even before our generation.
Definitely.
Right? So like when we were in college, you didn't see kids playing hacky sack.
Yeah, I feel like that's in like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, right.
Hacky sack
So
at its
right,
biggest.
but like that's what they did for fun. And now if you see someone with a hacky sack, you look at them and you're like, something's wrong with that guy. So I wanted to ask you, maybe we can go back and forth a bit. I didn't think of anything, I didn't write anything down, but I figured we could go back and forth and talk about things that we did for fun or saw people do for fun during our generation that if you did it now, you'd be a weirdo.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm trying to just think of stuff.
I mean,
At the
I could go for one simple one if you want first.
That might.
Well, we talked about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we were in college, and actually I'll take a step back. When we were in high school, we were so bored because we didn't have cell phones that had games on them. So we would play on our calculators.
Oh, that's
Right? We'd play graphing calculator games.
yes.
Right? And nowadays, if you tell someone like, hey man, this class is boring, like you want to see who can get the best score on our calculator game? They'd be like, why aren't you playing Candy Crush or whatever game is on the phone? You know? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm actually really curious about that because calculators are way more inconspicuous than phones, and I feel like teachers these days must be super attentive to kids just like hanging out on their phone.
You think so?
You know? Oh, absolutely. Because I'm sure phones these days are such a distraction
Yeah.
that I can't imagine if you allowed phones in your classroom, who would learn anything at this point. You better hope everyone's on silent because if you had to hear vibrating or a ding every like 5 minutes while you're teaching.
Oh, that's another
crazy.
one, dude. Yeah. Not for fun, but when we had cell phones in high school, they came out with the cell phone clips. And if you had the cell phone clip on and your phone vibrated, it really made noise.
Yeah.
And they came out with the clips for people who maybe think the clips were really old. They actually weren't. Obviously, they came out like when the first cell phones came out. But even with our generation, when we got our cell phones, just the black and white phones, the clips were because people were worried about getting cancer. And they didn't want their phone in their pocket. And they were like...
I thought it was just a way to just keep the phone just
was it?
not... Yeah, because the phones back in the day were clunky.
No, we had the small ones.
Keep it in your pocket,
we had the small ones.
Yeah, okay, that was advanced. Okay.
I mean, I didn't have a Nokia, but
Basically a current cell phone.
I
But
have all my phones right here, by the way.
do you still have all your
Yeah,
phones?
except the iPhone.
Sell them for, rare earth metals?
Well, so a few things. One, the phones originally didn't have a way to copy over contacts. You had to go to the
Okay.
store and they would do some pluggy thing,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
right?
Yeah.
And so there were times that they'd do the pluggy thing and they'd erase the people's phones by mistake. Like it just happened. And right,
I've never seen that.
so
It feels sad for whoever got screwed
well, they
over
only
like
had we only had like whatever 100 contacts. And so I had my black and white flip. It wasn't even black and white. It was black and like green because it was that weird green when the phone lights up. It's like a backlit green. That flip phone was my first, and I didn't get a new phone until after college. So I had that phone for 4 years. Yeah,
It
almost.
sounds typical of your entire life, Jim.
That is
I
true.
see your current phone and you're like, Steve, I can't run games on this phone because it is just so slow.
Well, why do they got to make the game so advanced?
Phones these days can do so much. They have so much RAM and
They're making
storage.
the games, and they're like, how can I burn this kid's battery? Let me think. Let me first get their GPS because that burns battery, and then let me like get the screen going, and then let me also get like the gyroscope to measure movement. Let's turn all the features on. You know,
And the camera.
camera. That's right, camera. Yeah. Yeah, the only phone I sold was the phone prior to this iPhone, the iPhone before, because it was still worth money at the time. And I want to
I've never
upgrade this one.
I think I just threw phones in the garbage because my family used to do like hand-me-downs where my parents would get a new phone, I'd get their old phone, my sister would get my old phone.
Oh my gosh, your
Jane,
sister. Oh, but that's right.
command.
Back then, the phones were just bad anyway.
Yeah, didn't
'Cause
really
you
matter.
we didn't have internet on our phones. That's right. You had to pay.
Yeah,
We
so
didn't
as
pay.
long as it called and texted, it was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
You were just doing it for the
Like
you
the
know, the new.
Razor. The
Oh my
Razor.
God! Can you believe this thing flips up and there's a keyboard
Mhm.
underneath? It makes texting so much better.
I still think that the T9 was such a great invention. I preferred that the T9 function on your
Yeah.
phone when you like it predicted what you had to type.
I mean, the phones already do that these days.
Yeah, that was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. T9 was great.
So
I used
good.
to love. I used to not use T9 until someone showed me how to use it, and I was like, I don't know how I lived without it. I would push like 2-4 times, and then 3-2 times.
Dude, I still think T9 is faster than regular texting. I think it's only slower than the swiping. I think that's probably the fastest.
Yeah, I mean that's what I have. I have the swipe
You have
to
this
the
one.
letter.
Yeah. I think that's just T9 on steroids. That's what that is.
But yeah, in terms of anything else, man, it's tough because
Dude, I'll give you another one. I'll give you
kind
another
of-
one.
let me think. Let me think about food because I feel like not a lot of people must cook like in the old style.
It could be like anything you do.
Wait, not food related, but I still like to go to brick and mortar stores to buy stuff.
Yeah, but no one's gonna make fun of you for doing that.
My young people make fun of me all the time. Steve, you still buy your shirts at the brick and mortar store? Oh my God! You could just order 5 of them on the internet, try which one you want, and return the rest. You're like, wait, what? What? Why would you do all that effort? Just go to the store.
Are you sure you're not Gen X? You're calling it brick and mortar? Like you couldn't even call it the store. Like
See, that's what I mean.
I mean, I gotta be honest. If you said brick and mortar, I'd be like, "Go home, Grandpa. Go home." I don't think I wouldn't say that. That's. I don't mean like that. I'm talking like extreme. Like if you pulled out like a cassette player or something. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I mean, cassette players is like a good thing, but like that's not something you would pull out these days
Or
anymore.
what about like cash? That's a good example, and it's a perfect example for you.
Oh, I do always
You
carry cash.
always pay
Don't
with
rob me,
cash.
guys. Don't rob me, guys, because I'm telling you this. But I always carry a lot of cash on me
Right.
because I'm not because I'm old. Okay, I'm
Uh-huh.
young.
Well, you are old too, but
Okay, but I'm young in my mind. But I carry cash as a way to limit myself because credit cards, forget it. It doesn't matter what I'm spending on. Card. I don't see it until I have to pay my credit card balance
Mhm.
at the beginning of next month, and that's when I'm surprised. I'm like, oh, we made mistakes.
The credit
When you
card is
pay with
like,
cash, you're like, I only have this much money, and once it gets low, you're like, I have to go to the bank
gotta conserve it. Yeah.
if I'm gonna pay more, if I'm gonna buy more stuff,
Right.
and that's a hassle.
Right. So the credit card is like the devil's key or something, where like
Exactly.
you're just using it everywhere. So wait, when you
And they make
switch,
it so easy these days where you just like insert, take it out,
hmm
done.
or
You know,
not even. Sometimes you just have to swipe it.
if you have one of
The
those
special
fancy ones.
chip. Yeah. When I
Yeah,
was in Europe, that's all they did. Yeah.
yeah.
So
No,
when you buy your groceries, do you use your credit card?
I do because it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But like you're
anything
buying
that's in um
like
large,
$100. Yeah.
yeah, like large amounts of money, I do just because then it gives me points on
Yeah.
my credit card. That's how they get you.
That is. I do use my credit card, but when I first got it, like whenever, college times, I didn't have the auto pay feature enabled
Okay,
because like I had no
so your
money.
credit score is awful.
Well, I had no money. So like I wasn't gonna tell my credit card to take the money out of my bank account that didn't have any money. You know? So I would just like at the end of the month pay it myself. And I forgot for 1 month. It was
A
the worst.
whole month?
It was the worst. Not only did I not pay and get hit by like the 25% or whatever crazy percent interest they had.
Yeah.
They then cancel your card. Like not cancel, but they put it on hold. So like when you're at the store, that's how I found out. I was at the store, I went to buy something and then they were like, "Oh, your card's declined." And I was like, "Oh, that's weird." So I used my other credit card which like I never used. And then I called up the Mastercard and I was like, "What happened?" And they're like, "You didn't pay your bill." But I ended up switching off Mastercard. I'll never use Mastercard again because Mastercard. I told them I was like, I've been paying your Mastercard like for 3 years straight. I never missed a payment. I missed one payment, and now you're gonna charge me all this money. Like you shouldn't do that for like a one-time mistake. And they were like, well, that's our policy, blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what? Forget you. And I'm telling everybody I know to never use your company again. And I switched, and I'm so happy I did because Capital One, Chase, American Express, everyone else has that forgiveness policy. Where like
Yeah,
you
I know
miss a
my company does.
yeah.
I know I think I've broken it enough that I don't think they forgive me anymore. And it's not because I don't have the money, it's because I literally forget. I don't have auto pay also because um sometimes the balances don't match. So sometimes you can only pay a portion of your credit
Yeah.
card.
Mhm.
And um so that's why like I don't do auto pay for credit card. Everything else like utilities wise,
Yeah.
internet, electricity, auto pay. Because that I have enough
But
of.
see, that's where
But
the
credit
that's
card, no,
so
that's
that's
when
where
things
this
get big.
well, that's where it gets sneaky. It's because like all my other auto pays are auto paid by my credit card. So it's a cycle of auto
Oh,
paying. Yeah.
wow,
So when you
that's
get
true.
your credit card bill, you're like, "Oh my God, it's so expensive to live." You know?
Well, it's been rough these days. So at first during quarantine, my credit card was looking amazing. In fact, I was in the negatives because I had so many trips refunded
Oh, that's right.
that I had a credit on my credit card. Like
You're
the
like,
credit card
you
company
owe
owed
me.
me
You
money.
owe me. I'll give you the interest if you don't pay me
Yeah.
back.
So it's like, and that's when things went crazy. Because I'm like, this is free.
Oh my goodness. No self-restraint.
No
That should
self-restraint.
be that I would say that's your biggest weakness. If you were a super villain, lack of self-restraint is how to defeat you.
That's true. That's true. um, but yeah. But now also, my apartment complex is allowing for to pay your rent over the internet, and that includes paying rent with your credit card. So I've been paying rent with my
Oh,
credit
you
card.
should, because you get the
Why
points.
would I miss out on all these points?
That's so many points.
Yeah, but now my credit card bill is like astronomical.
Exactly. Right. So every time so here's what also gets me with credit cards. And I know that they show it the way they show it because it's just a running total. But like, to the layman like me, I log in, I just want to see how much money I have to pay and like what the charges were. But what
Right.
they do is they're like, well, here's how much money you have to pay. But on top of that, here's additional money, that stuff you charged, but we're not going to collect money from you yet. It's like in the new month. And then
Oh yeah.
here's
Yeah, because
stuff at the
statement is like
yeah,
when it's enough.
right.
Yeah.
And then here's stuff at the bottom which you owe, but you already had the payment in, but we didn't take it off the screen yet. So like I'm looking at it and I'm like, I owe so much money. And then I'm like, oh wait, but then I paid it here and this I don't pay yet. It's like they got to be a better way of doing that.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's too confusing.
I think it's just because people pay at like not consistent times and your statements at non-consistent times.
Yeah, like I just wish when I logged in, the screen would just be like, here are the charges you had for last month, and here's how much you owe. And you're just like, oh, perfect, boom. I don't need to see this month. I'm not paying ahead. I don't know anybody that's going to pay ahead. Who's paying ahead?
Yeah, no, mine, I have Bank of America, and when you go online, you just have to click, and it gives you the exact amounts. It says, click this for minimum payment, click this for
Yeah,
like
but does it show you
for,
all the
for
charges?
the statement. No, it just gives. Yeah, I mean in your account.
No, but that's what I'm
But
saying.
like
I gotta
when you go
look through
bill
them.
pay- But when you go bill pay, then it just shows minimum, that month's balance, or your entire credit card.
Like everything.
And sometimes I have paid more just to pay off the entire
I've
credit card.
never
Like,
done that.
next month will be easy.
Next month's already this month.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
And that's when you swipe. You're like, I got nothing on the credit card.
Yeah, so I recently got the app. Actually, not recently. Like I guess 2 years ago, I got the app on my phone for my credit card, and it gives you the alert when you use money on it. And I think that's been really helping me curb some of the spending because like you don't really realize it's so weird. It's psychological. It's like you go to buy something and you're like, this is $100, and you're like, yeah, it's a lot of money, but I'm okay spending $100 on this thing, right? So you mentally already knew it was a lot of money. You swipe your card, you get the item, and you're like, oh, I'm glad I bought it. It was $100, right? But then when you get that notification, you're like, what have I done? It was a whole $100, and you're like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have.
See, and that's why you go cash, because
Mhm.
if you only carry like $200 on you,
Mhm.
that's half your money gone in one purchase.
Yeah. I should carry more cash. I usually carry like $20, but I should carry more than that.
I'll say it absolutely curbs your spending. However, during these COVID times, I have not used cash at all, just because I don't want. I feel weird already, and I don't know how people are allowing cash right now, but I guess you have no choice. In certain
We don't allow
places.
money. Pay
But
with your
cash is
soul.
definitely way dirtier
Oh yeah.
and than just a credit card, because the credit card, most of the time the people will be like, you swipe it yourself,
Yeah.
because it's so idiot proof,
Yeah.
the credit card machine,
Hmm.
that any monkey could do it.
That's right.
But when you go with cash, you got to have an exchange with people and get change and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That's too much. So I'm gonna chill out on cash for now. So everything's been credit card these days.
Yeah. And I like credit card as well. I agree. I do think it's safer.
Yeah.
So,
Let me think of something else,
okay.
because I really like every single thing has been a suggestion by you that I do. I was like,
Okay.
oh wait, I do that.
Yeah. You could think about it while I think about Chick-fil-A, because I did want to talk about Chick-fil-A too.
Oh my God, we're gonna tangent from
You're,
generation to Chick-fil-A. You
well,
couldn't have
you
even had a
mentioned
story
you
in between
mentioned
connect the two.
well you mentioned credit card. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, when did I last use my
That's the
credit
truth.
card? And then I was like, oh, I used it at Chick-fil-A.
At Chick-fil-A. Okay, go
I wanted
talk
to
about
say,
Chick.
so my Chick-fil-A recently has just stepped up their game with the parking lot situation. They essentially took that, so that Chick-fil-A was always packed all the time, always causing traffic. It was a mess. All right.
Right.
So I went to Chick-fil-A at 2 o'clock yesterday, packed. All right. Like, I don't know what people are doing, not working, I guess. And what they did was they coned off. So their parking lot is like a Toys R Us line with the zigzags, all right? But then
Oh
it
my
zigzags
God.
into a joint shared parking lot for other stores, like a strip mall area.
Right.
Like when I took you to, it's like in the same places where Applebee's is. Like there's just a
Okay.
huge parking lot area, right? They coned it up there through intersections, right? So there's a line for Chick-fil-A through intersections, coned up. So when I got there, I tried to go in, but they blocked off the entrance. And then there's just arrows. And I'm like, is this detour worth Chick-fil-A? Yeah, it's worth Chick-fil-A. So I'm like
Heck no.
driving, getting into line, cones are knocked down because people can't stay in the
Oh my
line.
God.
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Doesn't sound like it. No.
Oh, I mean, it was
At that point, you just drive on. You go to the KFC.
well, they closed KFC by me.
Yeah, they closed it by me too.
Chick-fil-A just kicked them in the butt. But Taco Bell going strong.
That's right. That's popping up instead.
Oh yeah.
Invest in Taco Bell, guys, because I don't think that's ever gonna
Well,
die.
your Taco Bell, for some reason, is like beautiful. It is.
It is brand
It is, and
spanking.
it's modern. Like you get
Yeah.
in there and you're like, this is some nice architecture here. You know who
This is
who designed these doors? You
I
know.
think only you and I can go to a Taco Bell and admire architecture.
Well, okay.
Have a comment. You know what's the architecture here is fabulous.
Very fabulous. When I went to your Taco Bell in person, this was pre-COVID actually. Now that I think about it, we were in the Taco Bell. They had double glass doors, right? The glass door, then the air room, and then like glass doors. But I remember it was really nice and it was like futuristic, right? My Taco Bell's doors and handle are wood. It's like a big wooden chunk. It's all rotted.
You know, it's been there. It's seasoned.
It's seasoned.
You know, that's a seasoned Taco Bell.
It's like the hull of a ship. It's just worn down.
And that's why whenever we order Taco Bell from your Taco Bell, we have to check our order.
It's always wrong.
It's always wrong. And
Dude.
my Taco Bell, this past weekend, we ordered how much food?
Yeah, they
got
got
it
everything
completely
right.
right. Even all the customizations.
They did get it right. Yeah,
I'm proud of you guys.
because somebody wanted nachos with no tomatoes, no beef.
No, they wanted tomatoes.
Oh,
They
tomatoes.
didn't want the beef or the beans
no
or
beef, no beans, with
Yeah.
extra cheese.
with extra cheese on the side. So
On
they
the
just wanted
side.
cheese, tomatoes on their nachos, and then extra cheese because it's not enough cheese on there.
It was confusing, and I swapped mine for chicken instead of beef.
That's right. Mid-order, when you swap, that's it. You're asking for trouble.
You should have led with my order, but I didn't know what I wanted yet. You did
I
your
know.
order
That's
first.
why I did ask. What did you want? And
Yeah,
you're like,
right.
ah.
No, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, but your Taco Bell, yes, they have not messed up the order. My Taco Bell messed up on multiple occasions. And it's been so bad, they gave us the Taco Bell coupons, which
That's right.
I
That's
I
right.
can't, first off, I can't believe they exist, which makes me think my Taco Bell is not doing well.
They must be divvying out those coupons constantly.
Like, can you remember when we worked at McDonald's? There was something called a secret shopper, and
Yeah.
like a customer would come in, but that customer was from corporate, and they were scoring your restaurant, and then
Right.
like based on the score, the owner would get like a bonus or whatever the thing is, like a slap
Right.
on the wrist. And I remember it was a really big deal because they'd be like, well, secret customers coming in anytime this week. We don't know. Best behavior. And you're like, okay, it doesn't do anything to me.
I'm always on my best
I'm
behavior.
always, yes. We always used to say, welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you? Pre-Chick-fil-A said that. Chick-fil-A copied us on that.
Wait, what?
Remember?
Why? Who doesn't say welcome to whatever place you're at? How
No.
how can I help you?
Haven't you been to any fast food place? You pull
They
up
don't
and
just say like they pull up and they're like, "What do you want?"
yeah, they pull up. You pull up and they're like, 1 minute, please.
I do get that a lot.
And then
That's because there's only like the one window, and so they're trying to give food while taking your order at the same time and answering whatever question the people in the car that's getting their food is asking at the same time.
But then you're left out in the. It's like, I get to Wendy's, I pull up, it's raining, I roll down my window, rain's coming in. Hold on a minute. Oh gosh, roll up that window, right? And then you're just like sitting there and you're like, do I say something? Like, how long is too long?
I have done that before. No, it's more of when you roll up and they don't say even the 1 minute, it's just complete silence. And I know since we worked at McDonald's that there's a little beep in your headset when a car rolls up. And so I just thought, I would just start thinking, I'm like, oh, maybe they didn't hear the beep this time.
Even though it's pretty loud.
Pretty loud, yeah. You can always hear the beep.
So then you're
maybe they forgot that it beeped and they think no one's there. And I'm just going to sit here awkwardly in silence.
You're like, hello?
To say my order.
Hello?
I've done that before. I was like, hello?
And they're like, oh, yes, how can I help you? Yeah, so anyway, go to
wait. Sorry.
Good.
Speaking of weird intercom moments, there's two weird intercom moments. Okay.
Okay.
One, Jim over here rolled up while I worked at McDonald's with my friends, and they had to order the most horrendous order in the world.
I completely forgot about this. Oh, that's great.
Jim, because he works there, knew all of the worst things to ask a drive-through person. He comes in and he's like, "Can I have a 4-piece nugget?" Now these days they give you 4-piece nugget. Back in the days when we worked, it's like you had to get it all the time, and it used to make you roll your eyes because you're like, 4 pieces only offered in a kid's meal. Do you want a kid's meal? No, I just want a 4-piece. Well, we don't have 4 pieces. So then he's like, and I didn't recognize their voice. Okay. And he's like, well, just, order a kid's meal and take the rest out and only leave the 4 pieces. I was like, okay, whatever. And then he's like, okay, can I have a fish fillet sandwich? I don't know who in the car ate that fish fillet because I know you've never eaten fish fillet. And you said with 1,000 pounds of tartar sauce.
The nasty sauce.
I was like, is this person serious? All I responded was, I guess you want extra sauce. So I did extra sauce on it. Meanwhile, my manager is yelling at me
Oh,
through
because
the
they
headset.
could hear.
Yeah, not just that, but they're like, Steve, the line is going all the way to the highway. What's taking so long?
Hurry up, this
No,
customer.
It's not my fault. This customer is ridiculous. Man, I was so pissed when they rolled up, and I was like, "Oh, it was you guys." Oh, my
I
goodness.
completely forgot about that. I do remember. I remember now. There was a lot of things like we wanted an extra toy, and like that
Yes.
to get that. I forget how you had to click it.
Required like an extra Happy Meal.
Yeah.
Too. You want that to be a 4-piece too?
give me the toy, but I want the red car. It's like, you're like, oh, now I gotta go find all the toys and pick the red one out. Oh,
It was a horrible order.
that was funny. That was funny.
Second terrible intercom story. It's also very funny.
That was a funny one though.
Yeah, I was with my friend, and he, for some reason, wanted to cash in a check at a bank while I was in the car. So,
I hate when people want to do that. Hey, do you wanna wait? Just real quick. Do you wanna hang out later? Yeah, sure. Hey, before we hang out, let me pick you up. We'll run to the bank. And then
yeah, you're like, I gotta do a few chores. You can just like tag along.
And you're
like, okay,
like,
well, I guess I don't have a choice. They wait till you're in the car to tell you.
It's like, hey, Steve, I know we said
kidnapped me.
I know we said we were gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings, but hey, I gotta get money first. I gotta get money, and then you go on the way to getting money.
My cash at the same time.
Hey, I gotta get the cash, and then can we just do a quick car wash because like there was a bird, and I just gotta get this. And you're like, what am I doing today?
Okay, so we get to the bank, and neither of us has ever dealt.
Oh, the
with
suction thing.
With the suction, the like drive-through banking system where you're talking to a teller, but in your car. This is fancy stuff, guys.
Oh, this was pre-computer do-it-all-yourself on the car.
Yes. Before you
Okay.
can do it through
This
the
is
ATM.
definitely a Gen X experience we're handling.
See, so there we go. Another related thing. But yes. So we drive through and we didn't know what to do. So there's a speaker and a button. Okay. So we pushed a button.
Yeah.
And my friend's like, I need to cash in a check. And I'm like, okay, well, just put your check in the
tube
canister and shoot it up. And so it shoots up, and my friend was just confused, like, about what to do. But every time he would try to talk to the person, he would push the button. Okay, and he'd be like, yeah, put that into my checking, and then let go. And then she would ask a different question. He'd be like, yeah, can I have like $200 in cash from it? And then let go. And one time he was pushing the button to like ask her something because she was taking so long with whatever we needed to do. And we were just sitting there. And so he was going to ask if like everything's okay or something. He pushes it, and then I ask him a question. So he lets go, and he talks to me. And then she says, yeah, can I help you? And I said, yeah, you can give me my money.
Oh,
like,
no.
That's literally what I say. And literally, she says right after, you don't have to push the button every time to talk to me.
Oh, so awkward.
I was like, roll up the window.
Roll it up. Granny's packing heat. Roll it up. Oh, man. That's true, because at McDonald's, too, we could hear outside if people were there.
Yeah, but we thought it was like an intercom like in your house where you push the button to talk to the person, but that button was just to get people's attention. It's like if you heard the ding every time a car came up, so that's what that was, and we just kept pushing it.
That's so horrible.
And I'm sure these bank people have that happen all the time.
Oh, yeah. That must be so annoying. Oh,
She did. She was laughing when she said, it's like, you don't have to push the button. We can hear you.
And you're like, oh, thank you.
Oh, no.
That is awkward.
Just yelled at this lady.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I had an awkward one. I mean, I'm sure everyone's experienced it. In fact, the Taco Bell that I go to, before I even get into the story, we should talk about naming our Taco Bells, because yours is a
Mine is mine is super awesome, fabulous Taco Bell.
it's a lot to say, Steve.
Uh, well, it'll be Saf. Saf
Okay, if
Saf.
you're
Trying to
if you're comfortable with that, you can see I can see the marketing wheels turning there. I was just gonna call yours like the better Taco Bell, like.
okay, the better Taco
Yeah.
Bell.
Well, I was gonna call mine like the geezer or something, because that's how it looks. It
The
looks.
White Walker of Taco Bell.
It looks. I'm gonna call mine Krusty Krab, because that's what it looks like. It looks like the Krusty Krab, and the doors look just like they've been underwater for ages. So anyway, so when you go to the Krusty Krab, they have the worst drive-through system. They have, first off, single window, like you said, so that one poor employee is turning their back to fill up the drinks, also turning the other way to do the order, also turning to collect the order and check the order, also putting
Right.
the sauces in and trying to talk. Like, I
And do
can't.
soda.
And yeah, and do the soda, and like now with COVID, now has to do the money situation, and like
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. Doing the window was always the worst job, but like single window was way worse. So, so
I
they have
used to do
this,
that just late at night when you didn't have a lot of people.
and even then, even with just like two customers, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I would say that requires college education at that point. The multitasking there is a lot.
That's right.
So at the Krusty Krab, they had the single window situation, which obviously is doomed for quality control issues with our food. and then And then the way it's set up, the drive-through was kind of designed by someone who was like, if you've ever played SimCity or any game like that where you're designing a town or even The Sims, you're like, you know what would go great here? A Taco Bell. Boom, you place it, and then you're like, uh-oh, I put the drive-through on the wrong side of the road. Oh well, too late, right? And so you make the road go around the wrong way to like
Yes.
fit, because you can't rotate the building. Like, that's how they have it. So the actual distance from the voice to the window is only 2 car lengths. It's actually less than 2 car lengths. So what'll happen is, first person places their order, they go to the window. Second person places their order, they go to the window, and if they scoot all the way up, you can kind of like halvesies get to the window, to the intercom, right? So you're now like, hello, and then they're like, what? Because they didn't hear you pull up because you're not far
Yeah,
enough up
he
yet.
didn't do the thing yet. Yeah.
Right, didn't do the thing, and so you're yelling, or you can get caught the other way, where you've ordered and you pull forward, but you didn't pass the intercom, so the car behind you is like riding you, trying to get into the intercom space. Oh, that's the worst. Your Taco Bell was fine. There was plenty of room. There was even a
Well,
passing lane.
Bell, you have to go the way to get out of the Taco Bell. You have to basically go around the whole drive-through again.
That was true. That was true. When we got Taco Bell, you started driving around. I was like, Steve, we have our food. Like, why are you going back in the line?
It's like, no, this is where the exit is.
But at least they have that passing lane.
Yeah, the worst, the Popeyes by work. The entrance is by like the first, like right at the intercom. So it's like the entrance, and then just a little bit off it is the intercom. So you have to drive past the intercom, past the window, around the whole building, and then come back around
Oh wow.
to get to that. Yeah, that one was the worst design.
That is terrible. Yeah.
But I guess it kind of fits because if your line is so long for Popeyes, and I don't think it's ever happened at Popeyes, but you basically can have like a snake.
Oh yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting how little space some of these places have in their parking lots or drive-throughs, but like still have these crazy lines. And
Yeah.
it's like there's almost no fix to it at some point.
Well, I told you about that new restaurant, Jollibee. I don't know how it's pronounced, but supposedly it's a Filipino fried chicken place. Never heard of it, but it's a new one that opened up on like a major road by me. And there are so many people there. This is only a one window
Oh no.
drive-through,
Another one
and
window.
they can't. There's no way they can do it. So they have police there, like directing traffic, because it goes always into the main road.
Oh my
And then
god.
secondly, so that still happens, but they also now decided to have two parallel lanes going to that first window.
Wait,
So
so
and
you
then
get in the drive-through line and you gotta pick which side of the drive-through
no,
line you want?
the police direct you to which line you have to go to.
Wow.
And then there's gonna be like there's sometimes there's a guy that's just walking and just getting people's orders, but
Oh,
I don't even know what I want.
I've
You're like
seen that at
I've
Chick-fil-A.
never been there before.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like I
yeah.
don't know
They
what
come
what to
around with a
do.
little iPad clipboard and they're just
Yeah,
like, "Hey, can I
exactly.
take
They're
your
just like
order?" And you're like, "Where's the menu?" And they're, "Oh, just tell me what you want. I got it right here, man." And you're like, "I don't know what you sell." Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, I'm gonna wait a while until the hype dies down
yeah.
because hope. I mean, I don't want to say hopefully. Hopefully, it's that this isn't the case, but maybe it's just because it just opened and there's probably not a lot of these Filipino fried chicken places. Supposedly in the Philippines, this restaurant is like on every other corner. It's like the McDonald's of the Philippines.
I mean, they
And
had
so,
some pretty interesting foods there when we looked at them online.
that's right. Didn't they have spaghetti?
That was interesting. That's why I said interesting. Because I'm a man who will try many things. But spaghetti at a fast food place, I don't know.
Spaghetti at a fast food fried chicken place.
Like I'm willing to get.
I don't know, Jim. You're the guy who rates Domino's the highest because of dessert.
They don't sell spaghetti, Steve.
Maybe
No,
you'll put Jollibee at the top because of spaghetti.
look, don't put it past me, because I might. They did have mango apple pies, and I hate mango, so I don't think I'm gonna rate it highly just because I know the desserts are gonna suck. Oh,
That's
and
amazing. Mango
speaking
apple
of
pie.
which, next time you go to Taco Bell, can you check to see if your Taco Bell sells the caramel apple empanadas?
Ooh, I haven't seen them. I always see the like cinnamon
Yeah,
twists.
those are garbage. Yeah.
No one goes to Taco Bell for dessert.
Dude, those empanadas are literally like an apple pie covered in caramel, deep fried. It is delicious. Delicious. I don't know why they
Couldn't
stopped
have
selling. I
an
used to.
an apple pie that's that's already bad.
It's it
Deep fried.
it just once you've had that, you can't really eat real apple pie anymore because you're like, why isn't this deep fried? And where's my caramel sauce? Damn it! Like I want my caramel sauce.
First world problems.
I mean, that's well. So what happened with Taco Bell and why I was so upset about it? I probably unjustly rated it lower than it should have been, but that's in the past. I went there and went to get my order and I asked for it. They're like, "Sorry, we don't sell that anymore." I was like, "Well, what do you sell for dessert?" They're like, "Cinnamon stick twists or whatever." And I was like,
Yeah.
"No,
Cinnamon
I'd rather just have a straw, a paper straw, than that. That is the worst."
Just give me the Eucharist.
Exactly. Just give me anything. Just give me the cardboard. Yeah, but what we should do is you should hold out on Jollibee until I'm there, and we should go. We should do it together, and we can have a taste
Oh,
comparison test.
oh, wait. So are we gonna go to Jollibee and then what? What other?
I I know. I
We
think
gonna
we could.
compare
We could. I think we could go to Jollibee, get a little bit of everything.
like a review of
Yeah, and
Jollibee?
and then when since we'll be together, we can do a review episode too.
When the Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich came out,
Hmm.
my friends and I we did like a taste comparison. We got the sandwich from Popeyes and we got the sandwich from Chick-fil-A. And we tried to compare. It's like, well, everyone's ranting and raving about this new Popeyes chicken sandwich. How does it compare to like the Primo
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A
yeah.
sandwich? Popeyes won, by the way. But
Well, I can't weigh in because I haven't had Popeye's chicken sandwich yet.
that's right.
But I will also say that I don't value your chicken sandwich opinion because you don't
Wow.
even buy chicken sandwiches at those stores.
Well, at Popeyes I do. That's all I get at Popeyes now.
True, true. But like if you went to a Wendy's or Burger King or McDonald's, you haven't had their chicken sandwiches. Like you don't eat
because it's a
those.
burger place.
Okay, but I do. So I had the McDonald's buttermilk chicken sandwich. They came out with a buttermilk chicken sandwich, which was like extra crispy essentially. Burger
Uh-huh.
King came out with a home style chicken sandwich with Asiago sauce, which was good. Chick-fil-A, regular chicken sandwich. KFC has their chicken sandwich, also extra crispy. I'd
Within
imagine.
inside of donuts.
What's that?
Inside of donuts.
They have that too. But I'd imagine Popeyes to sit somewhere where KFC or McDonald's did, which is like extra crispy. Like they put a lot of fry on it, which like
That's just all of Popeye's chicken is like
I've only had
super
Popeyes
extra.
once, and I didn't even buy it. Someone bought it and gave me a chicken finger, and I was like, that was it. I didn't have a chance to really eat it.
What do you mean?
Like someone else had Popeyes, they didn't want it all, and they're like, "Do you want a chicken finger?" And I was like, "Okay." That was all the Popeyes I've had.
One chicken finger.
It was okay.
Did you want more chicken finger?
I wasn't hungry. Well, I didn't eat. Like I wasn't eating. They were eating. Yeah, maybe we'll have to do a comparison like real time. It's tough because even if we did get 2 chicken sandwiches or 3 chicken sandwiches, like one of them's gonna be soggy by then. Like I'm not gonna want it.
No, I think it's fine. We could just do a review of Jollibee or
Yeah,
something.
let's do Jollibee. But you have to be the expert because you. So with chicken sandwiches, I think I would be significantly more experienced. But
Okay.
with fried chicken, you'd be way more experienced. Even at your house, we had wings last weekend. You had wings because you're a big wings guy, but not just wings. You're a big KFC guy, big fried chicken guy. Like that's kind of what you like.
Right.
Whereas, I'll have it if there's no pizza left.
The wings were good at the place I got.
Yeah.
They're crispy.
I probably should have tried
Crispy
them.
buffalo wings are really good.
Do you ever like make chicken wings at home, or do you always get chicken nuggets and fingers? Because
No,
you got that air fryer now.
yeah, I mean I've made wings before, but like frozen wings. I didn't make
That counts.
my own wings. Yeah,
Okay.
frozen wings. Anything that's frozen, pop it in the air fryer. Boom.
So
Instant.
wait, so how does that work if it's like barbecue chicken wings that are frozen?
The barbecue is frozen. And so
Yeah, but then
you
like,
just pop it in there. Yeah, you can clean the air fryer.
oh,
It's easy
okay,
to take.
okay. What flavor do you probably get like normal, like buffalo, whatever.
Yeah, get buffalo.
Yeah.
So good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We should do Buffalo Wild Wings next time, actually.
Have some of each flavor.
Yeah, like we should
Are you
try.
gonna try the hottest of the hot?
No, I wouldn't, but you should.
I tried it.
I would go.
It was one of the worst experiences of my life. Both while eating
Oh no.
and the after effects. of it,
Gosh.
because it was my stomach was making all sorts of weird sounds and churning and rumbling. I don't know what it was like, hating me. It absolutely hated me after I
Give me
did
the
that.
experience. Tell me what it looked like, what it smelled like.
It was deep red, like a devil's toe red. And it's like super saucy. So sometimes you wonder if it's really hot, like it's too thick for it to be saucy. Now it was saucy.
Are we
And
talking
I just
like?
remember
Are we talking like that Man vs. Food saucy where he got those spicy wings, then he only got a few of them, but they were like dark red and thick sauce,
Yeah.
like a thick.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Thick sweet.
So I actually looked it up afterwards, and they are considered one of the hottest wings sold in like restaurants in America. Yeah, mistakes were made.
Oh my gosh!
I couldn't even finish them. So I took a bite, and I was like,
Did you
"This is
dip it?
spicy."
Did you dip
Yeah, I dipped it in
ranch or
in
whatever?
blue cheese.
Blue cheese.
So even blue cheese is supposed to like
Coat the
lower.
tongue. Coat the
Yeah,
tongue.
just like make it easier to tolerate spicy food. So put it in blue cheese, put it in my mouth, and I was like, this is spicy. and then it's like it's a wave. You know, your whole face feels on fire.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I've had spicy food where instead it's more of a throat thing,
Yeah.
where you're like coughing
Yeah.
because it's so spicy. But no, this was like my whole face felt like it was on fire. My every orifice was leaking. I was crying.
Oh my gosh.
Snot was coming out of my mouth. I was sweating
Oh.
from every location. It was
Oh.
unbelievably spicy, and I just kept trying. I just kept trying to
You're like, I have to do this.
I was like, this is out of principle. I couldn't do it. I couldn't finish it because
Couldn't finish
it was
one wing?
no. I finished one wing. I couldn't finish because it comes with like 4 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I ate 4, and then I was like, that's it. Like I can't do anymore. This is it. I really can't.
Oh my gosh.
And then just afterwards, it almost feels like you ran a mile or something. Because all the adrenaline and sweat on you, you're like, oh my god, I feel like I just did so much aerobic exercise. But no, my stomach afterwards was like making all sorts of weird rumblings. It was bad. It was like, what did you do to me tonight, Steve?
Dang.
You use and abuse me.
So is
but
that
tonight was taking it too far.
was that the spiciest thing you've ever had?
No.
What?
No.
Is the super chip the spiciest thing?
Yeah, the super chip.
Oh,
I was gonna
no.
show you. It was it's called the Reaper chip. I wish I can go grab it.
Go grab it. It's
Show it.
right there. You have the box. Yeah. Steve's going to grab the chip right now. The chip box. I don't know if the chip is still in the box because it came with 2. But I've seen the box in person, and it looks like the box looks like death. I was keeping the masses happy.
Podcast. It's gonna be difficult for you to see, but this is it. It's from Rocky. Okay, it's got a flaming skull, and then on the back it's got this like warning.
Eat at your
And
own risk.
Yeah, after this, hell should be easy, is what it says.
Oh my gosh.
And eat at your own risk, not for the faint of heart. Not everyone will enjoy the extreme heat. And then it says, do not eat if you are sensitive to spicy food. Yeah. Seek medical assistance should you experience difficulty breathing. Okay? This is like a serious... This is a serious chip. And I only had a third of this chip. Because I had bought 3 to do with 2 other friends. And they were like, Steve, there's no way we could eat a whole chip. Why don't we just split this chip into thirds?
Okay.
So I had
Is
2
there still a
extras.
chip in there? Okay.
This is empty. So I only had a third. And this chip was it's sort of like, man, there were so many different steps in the pain department for the chip. So at the beginning, you're like, oh, this is spicy. Then you start coughing. Then your whole life feels like you made a giant mistake. Okay.
Get
You're
anxiety.
sweating.
Yeah.
The only thing, people were laughing at me because I was just rocking back and forth and just taking deep breaths because just the inhalation of air gave me a cooling sensation
Wow.
in my mouth.
Well, that's
I
why
was just like,
you eat it.
I was just like, it's like doing just constantly.
When you eat it, you actually like ate the chip, right?
Yeah.
Because I think when I was at your house, one of your friends put it in his mouth and chewed it, but he didn't eat it. He spit it up.
Did he?
Yeah, the kid. Remember he was coughing and stuff, but then he was fine after like 2 minutes, and he said he spit it up.
Did he? Oh, okay. No, I didn't know. I didn't see that.
Didn't you
but
think
yes.
that was an incredible recovery time?
No, there was a lot going on at that party.
That's right.
A lot of
That was a lot going on.
A lot of
at
people
that
were
party.
trying the chip. That party was during a Halloween party.
That's
People were
right.
trying the chip.
That's right.
We had some guy hunched over the sink for about half an hour. Some guy had left the party to go to Wendy's to go get ice cream because they were like, I can't deal with this.
Oh yeah, you were like, I got some stuff in the fridge. I got beer, and I got lemonade. It's like, what?
But it's weird because this spiciness lasted like 30 minutes. It was, imagine eating something that's spicy and it's still being in your mouth with that intensity for like 30 minutes.
That's crazy.
And so when it was done, it was almost spiritual. It was an insane calm fell over your body.
You're like,
And
I
you're
beat
like,
it.
man, I feel like I was just at a spa. Like,
Oh.
ultimate relaxation afterwards because there was so much stress on your body during
Oh
those
man.
minutes that then when everything like calmed down, your body's like, yo, this is amazing. Like, oh, I'm just all done. I don't even want to go.
Oh.
I did it at work
So,
during my lunch break.
well, you had the chip at work?
I had the chip at work
You
during my lunch
crazy
break.
man. So, when you go out to eat though, like when I go out to eat with you, I'd say you order things spicier than an average person would get them.
Right.
Like if there's regular and then there's like spicy and there's like super spicy, you get like spicy.
Yeah.
And I think when we get Asian food, you generally get like the spicy. Oh, when we had Thai food, that was another one. You were
Yeah.
like, I don't know how spicy this is gonna be, but it's got 4 little pepper flakes on it.
Well, because Thai food typically asks you, like, do you want mild, medium, or hot? And this place didn't ask you, and it
That's
just
right.
said it was hot.
That's right. Well, they were. Was that good food?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I said it. Remember, it was good.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because I've never eaten from there, but yeah, now I can just
They
say
said you're gonna write a good Yelp review or something.
I should. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna call that the place my friends have eaten at, but I've never eaten it.
I don't know why you don't like Thai.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm trying to think what's a Thai dish I would like.
Pad Thai.
Yeah, but you can get the thick noodles from Chinese food, and it's just as good.
It's a different flavor altogether.
Yeah, I kind of prefer the Chinese flavor, I guess.
It's a whole different meal. Or what I got, the drunken noodle, which is good.
Drunken noodles.
Oh
are
wait, I
like
didn't get
good.
drunken noodle. I got
No,
the,
you should have.
I got the
Yeah,
curry.
green curry. I think you should have gotten the drunken noodles because I think that is the bar for Thai food places. Because
No,
like
Pad Thai is usually the bar for.
okay, pad Thai.
Yeah, that's like the
What's
staple.
What's the difference between that and drunken noodles?
The drunken noodle is like a thicker, um,
But it's the
a
same
thicker
stuff in there,
noodle.
right?
No, there's different stuff and like a different sauce.
Oh,
There.
okay, okay. I'll have to get pad Thai then.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's the typical.
now that you're saying it, Thai food that's their typical. We just talked about Korean as bulgogi. That's probably the typical. You get that, and you're like, if that's good, everything else is probably good. What's the typical?
I usually get bibimbap.
Bibimbap. That's just as good. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's what I meant. I meant bibimbap. I said bulgogi.
Okay.
I meant
Yeah.
bibimbap. Yes. The bowl.
Yeah, the bowl.
The
Yeah.
coal bowl.
Yeah.
What is the Chinese staple?
American Chinese?
Yeah, American
or
Chinese. American.
Probably
Chinese.
General Tso's.
General
is
Tso's?
American. It's American Chinese.
Yeah, if you were Gen X, you probably would have said chicken and broccoli or lo mein.
Yeah.
But you're a millennial, so you're General Tso's. I think General Tso's is a staple. If you can make that, I'll eat there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about a sushi place?
Spicy tuna.
I'd go with that too. That's the most basic.
Yeah, it's
spicy
not a
tuna.
specialty roll. It's a basic
Not
roll.
basic roll.
And it's a good judge because you can have bad spicy tuna and you can have really good spicy tuna.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I actually
perfect sushi roll to
Yeah.
judge a sushi place.
And sometimes the spicy tuna is like inside during a bigger roll, so like you don't want that to be messed up.
Right, exactly.
What about for Chinese? Not Chinese, Italian. Though we don't eat a lot of Italian.
I don't go to a lot of Italian restaurants.
Why don't we skip Italian and stay instead
But
pizza?
I would say lasagna maybe for Italian.
Lasagna. Let me think what I would have. I probably would have said chicken parm if I had to pick, or veal parm. Veal parm.
Okay.
Okay, actually, I'm gonna stick with veal parm. If they can make a good veal parm, they're a good Italian place. Because veal's hard to cook. You have to pound it thin, and
Yeah.
and you
I'll
can't.
agree with veal parm, but like chicken parm is kind of hard to mess up. So,
Yeah, I agree. When McDonald's starts making chicken parm sandwiches, you're like, it's too easy.
yeah.
What about pizza place?
Probably a pepperoni.
I'm gonna say
I
the
would
same.
say.
Yeah, even though that's probably not what either of us ever order.
No,
If
I've
we
never really ordered pepperoni. I always get like specialty pieces
same, same.
or plain. A
Right.
lot of people would judge it on plain, but I feel like you need at least one
You
topping
have to
to
have a
see
topping because you need to
to
see the
see like
topping
how well.
distribution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You
How
got to
well
see
they
like, are they chimping out? Are they like
yeah,
putting too much?
yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Did we miss any places?
I mean, there's tons of
No, I
places
mean
that you
like
can say, like
genres.
Mexican
Oh yeah, what,
places.
what about Mexican?
Um, Probably burrito, maybe. Say.
Burrito. Well, if you get a burrito, then you're probably not going to have their refried beans, which is very common at Mexican places. So,
Well, that's a side dish.
yeah, but I think like if
You
you
can
were
have
gonna,
burritos with the side. Yeah, they serve it when you go to like Mexican places. The burrito comes in like a plate with rice
oh,
and
that's right,
beans.
that's
Yeah,
right. Okay, yeah, I think burrito makes sense. I guess most of
yeah,
their food is kind of the same ingredients, just in different roles.
forms. Yeah,
I,
it's like chicken, rice, and pico and
it's
stuff.
interesting because like Mexican food and American food is so similar that I feel like Mexican should be my favorite food, but I don't think it is, which is weird. Oh, no.
You like cheese?
You know what's really good? I
Uh,
took you there once. This was, and it's got to be at least 2 years ago because I was working at my other job. You met me at a Mexican place called Mad Mex, and
okay.
we sat in the corner. You paid for me too, by the way. I
Oh
remember you
wow.
paid for me.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
such a gentleman.
No, you paid because you had like you were in White Plains. I forget where you were. You were by me, and your company would pay for dinner, and you said like it was
Oh, I
okay.
remember this. Yeah,
And
that's
you
right.
ordered the
I was
chalupa.
in West Point. I was in West Point.
Wait, no, you ordered the chimichanga.
Yeah,
Remember that.
chimichanga.
Right,
The burrito deep.
which was good. I ordered the wingarito, which is my favorite Mexican food. It's not even Mexican,
That
but
is
it's chicken wings. It's like boneless chicken wings with a
definitely
barbecue
not Mexican.
sauce in a burrito with lettuce, tomato, cheese, beans, with then you put ranch dressing on top of it. It's just like the best marriage of two cultures. Oh, we gotta eat there again. They got one in the city. They got one out by my job. It's like, 20 minutes away. Next time you come over, maybe I'll meet you there because it's on the way.
It's on the way. Okay.
It's on. Yeah, I'll have to do the drive there and back, but you can just.
And I don't go go kart.
We can. The go kart is right there.
That's why. That's why I said that.
That's the real go karting place. Though we'd have to get a time slot because I wanted to go with my dad, but they had something with the time slots where like there's a free there's a period of like free time where you can drive, and they charge you by the lap, and so you're like,
What?
yeah, so you got to be like, I guess I'm doing 6-8 laps because they're like the real go karts. So
Yeah, I mean, there's places that do real go karts and it's just timed.
yeah, no, don't time it. Yeah, but I mean that could be an expensive day if we want to do that. Yeah, I mean
If you want
that's
to treat me,
what's that?
you want to treat me.
No, don't want to. Maybe my company will treat us. Maybe we'll get enough subscribers at one point, enough listeners that we'll become famous and we can afford to go go-karting.
There we go. You guys make us famous, and we'll bring you go karting with us.
Yeah. No, we'll get a GoPro,
Yes,
but
yes.
my GoPro will face my face.
Although we're a podcast, so
Podcast GoPro
podcast is just gonna be sounding like just the motor
and
the whole
and my
time.
and my scream.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're getting close to time here. Thanks everybody.
Fast.
It's okay. We have some short episodes recently, so
That's right.
it's good to have some longer ones. For those people who's got the longer commute, I want to give them their money's worth here.
Welcome, guys.
You're welcome. You get to listen to us during your commute. How fun. So yeah, thanks everybody for listening. You can find us on all the podcast streaming platforms at Creativity Level Zero. Like we were saying before, if you just type it in without the spaces, it's generally easier to find us. We're on YouTube, Creativity Level Zero, and then on Instagram, we're at Creativity underscore level underscore and the zero sign. So thanks everybody for joining, and we'll catch you later.
Thanks, guys.